welcome back, babies. It is your girl AJ, the owner of AJ Unique Creations, baby. Honey, what's good? What's good? So today, as you see, I'm in front of the what? I am in front of the Vevor straight stitch machine, industrial sewing machine for under $500. Yes, it is a deal. It is a steal. It is available on Vevor.com. I recommend getting off of Vevor versus Amazon. A lot of you guys have asked me that. I do not recommend Amazon because, number one, you are getting them from third parties. So when you get them from third parties, sometimes it comes a little bit broken. But you guys have asked me so many questions about this machine. So I want to actually address the questions. I made a whole entire video for you guys. I told myself a short, a reel will not do it justice. So I did a whole entire video and I'm going to try to answer as many questions as I can in this video. If I do forget the questions, I'm going to go ahead and bring my phone out and I'm going to read the questions on here. So the first question I did get asked a lot is it a walking foot? This is a straight stitch only machine. So it does not do any zigzags or anything like that. It only does a straight stitch only. For bobbin and threads, I do have it linked down in my Amazon store, so make sure you do check my description box down below. I have the threads, not the threads, well, the threads I use are on Amazon because I use the heavy duty threads. But when it comes down to needles, bobbins, all of that is linked down in my Amazon store for this machine. If you are looking for that, just looking for that because this machine doesn't tell you anything like that. So I did have to test around and play around with some things to figure out what I liked and what worked for the machine. Number two, there is no needle cutter. So somebody did ask me about that. There is no needle cutter on the side of this machine. Most sewing machines, you do have a needle cutter right here, but on this machine, you do not. So let me tell you what you got to do. Because there is no needle cutter, the first thing you have to always do, have a pair of scissors. Most industrial sewing machines, I believe, does not have a needle cutter on the side of this machine. So when you put your bobbin, this right here, down here where your bobbin at, that does not even open. So there's nothing to cut your thread at all. I said needle cutter, thread cutter. There's no thread cutter, so you cannot cut your thread. Just make sure you have a pair of scissors to cut your thread, okay? Now, somebody asked me also about the feed dogs down below, so I'm gonna bring you guys down some. Sorry about all the moving. These are your feed dogs right here. Now, main thing about this, if it is up like this, your fabric would not feed through the machine. So I do not have like extra fabric. Matter of fact, we got some extra stuff right here. I'm gonna move this out the way and I'm gonna show you guys because your machine would not sew. There's nothing down here. It's not gonna feed through. You see? It's not feeding through. The feed dogs are not getting a hold of the material to feed through the machine. Literally, it literally was stitching, but it's not gonna feed through. So I'm gonna actually cut that down because I'm gonna use this piece for our test subject today. All right, I try to put you guys at a great angle so I can actually show you everything I'm gonna be doing. So as you just saw, if your lever, hold on, if your pressure foot is still up, it won't move your fabric. The feed dogs down here will not be able to attach to anything. So what we're gonna do is put our fabric underneath. And the thread I have in here right now is heavy duty thread, so it's for upholstery because I was making bags last. I haven't used this machine in a minute because I've been working on orders. So after I put the material down, this is some felt too, just in case you are wondering, we are using felt. And I'm actually going to go over the stitch lengths too because a lot of you guys have asked me about that. So right now we have it at a stitch length of 4. The stitch length is right here, this orange knob. And this lever right here is the go back and forward lever. We'll go over that though. So what I'm gonna do, you see this orange knob here? This orange knob is very, very, did you hear me? And I'm gonna repeat again. Very, very, very important. Do you understand that? So this orange knob, you will turn it down. It literally will be facing down. Did you see? The foot went down. We're gonna zoom in so you guys can see. The foot went down. Do you see that? It is very important. That brought my foot down. So if I turn it back, the foot is up. My machine is not going to sew anything because the feed dogs and the foot is not holding the fabric. So I'm going to turn it back down, and now we're going to sew, okay? We're going to sew, and I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see. I'm sorry I'm working at angles. I'm trying to make sure you guys get everything that you can see because you guys have asked me so many questions. We're going to sew. Now my thread popped. Let me rethread my machine. And if you are wondering about threading, we went over threading in the last video. So just go check that out. I'll leave a link down below also, or at the top of the video. You could go watch the threading video and then come back to this video. So I'm going to go ahead and rethread the machine again. Left to right like always. Nothing new, nothing less. Everything was already threaded on here. My bobbin was already threaded too. So now we're going to sew. Do you see? My fabric is now moving. The feed dogs are now holding my fabric. This is a stitch length of 4 too, you guys. I know you have been asking me about this. This is a stitch length of 4. The feed dogs are now feeding the fabric through the machine. So you have to make sure you turn the orange knob. And guess what? We're done. So now guess what I'm going to do? Bring y'all back up so you can see. I'm going to turn it back. See that? Turn it back. Lift it up. Now we're going to pull it out. So sometimes to pull it out, you do have to move this orange knob on the side. That moves your needle up and down. Bring it out. Cut. Boom. It went through. It fed through the machine. Do you see the stitches? Now I'm going to measure these stitches right here. This was a stitch length of 4. So I'm going to go ahead and get a ruler. Okay, so we're going to measure it and see. I haven't really ever measured these before, so it's kind of actually funny. Oh gosh. That was 4. Ooh. And with that, I would say it's about 0.5 for the stitch length. Like each stitch is 0.5 from each other. 0.5, yeah. So each one is about 0.5 from each other. Now I'm going to change it to 5. And I'm going to go down so we can see the difference, okay? Make sure I turn my orange knob. Boom. Stitch straight down. Back stitch just to do it. So this is a stitch length of 5. So a stitch, each stitch from each other, I would say that one is about 0. Yeah, I'm looking, y'all. I'm reading it too because this thing a little bit hard to read, but that one is about 0.75. It's not, nothing is reaching to 1, okay? But that's how the stitch lengths are. As you can see, this right here is a stitch length of 5. I'm going to come in as close as I can for you guys. This is a stitch length of 5. You could see the difference. And then this is a stitch length of 4. So the 4 is more tighter. So this is 4 and this is 5. So what I'm actually going to do is find me like a pen or something. I'm going to write it next to it. So we can also remember and we won't be forgetting. Because we're going to try 2 and 1 also. Okay. So I have my pen. This is 5. Okay, no, that's not going to work. All right, that's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is cut the straight one off because this one is 5. It's so skinny too. This is 5. This one will be 4. 4, 5. So this is like the only way to remember it, okay? And then we're gonna also do a stitch length of 3. And as you see, when I'm changing my stitch length, the back pressure, I'm saying the back pressure foot, the back lever is moving too. So now we're gonna do 3. Now also, if you're using different thread, it'll probably be something different. This is a heavier thread, and I'm using this because it's pink and it was also in the machine already. So this one is a stitch length of 3. Put the lever down. Pressure foot is at the bottom for your machine, so you press it. So also with 3, it does take a little bit longer also. Like just sewing, it takes a little bit longer. When it's doing like 5 or something like that, it does go fast. Woo, you could tell this is like 3. This thing is so tiny. Look how tiny this is. This is a stitch length of 3. This is so tiny. So we're going to cover, this is 5. And then this is 3. Do you see how more like tight the 3 is versus the 5? Or is it just me? Because the 3 is right here. This is the 3. This is the 5. The 3 is like more tightened versus the 5. Or as I'm wrong. Y'all let me know. So I showed you guys the stitch lengths. For 3, 4, 5. If you do 2 or 1, you should know it's gonna definitely be small. But also, you guys have asked me about this right here. This is where your bobbin goes at. Your bobbin goes underneath your machine. So this is underneath the machine, like literally down here. This does not open at all. It stays closed. It doesn't open. Like I told you guys, this orange knob right here, this is to help for your foot. So if you need to tighten your foot with your pressure foot down here, this helps. So you would tighten or loosen it right here. But be careful not to go like too much or too fast, because you don't want to have it, you know, too loose or too tight. Definitely, because whatever you're doing, like if you're quilting or something like this, you probably want it to be tight so it can have that grip, or you probably want it to be loose. Just make sure you are paying attention to that. So this orange knob up here is for that. And I already showed you guys how to thread the bobbin in here before already, so I showed you guys that already. And I'm going to show you guys just the knobs over here. If you are wondering where your stitch length is at, it's over here in your lever. So I want to show you guys underneath the machine, because I know some people have been asking about the setup. So this right here is your foot for when you're sewing. And as you go up, I did attach it. So it's up here and it's attached. As you see, that is your motor. Oh gosh. Your motor is also attached here. Now bobbin, underneath here is where your bobbin will go at. This is your bobbin underneath here. This bobbin case do not have a spring at the top, so it does not hold anything. But this is your bobbin down here. This is where it goes at. So it's nothing to cut the thread at all. And this lever is to help with the knee lift. If you need your, you know, if it's down, you need to lift the knee lift up for thicker fabric. And like I said, this is your stitch length. Over here, 3, 4, 5, 2, 1, and in between, this is your reverse lever, your back stitch lever. And I already showed you guys how to do the bobbin and everything on the machine. And like I told you, it does not have no thread cutter here either. This lever is what brings your foot down and up. Down and up. Make sure you have it down when you are sewing, it up when you want to relieve anything. This orange knob right here is for your needle, so that way you can pull your thread out to cut at the end. Alright you guys, so we are done. I hope I was able to answer all of you guys' questions that you have been asking me. If you do have any more questions, please comment down below, and when I can, I will do a whole nother video for you guys. So I do plan on making a bag with this machine. It is the holiday season, so just bear with me, because I am working on a lot of orders at the same time and working on gifts for my family and my friends. But if you do have any more questions, just comment down below and feel free to always text me. You guys have my number. Just go to my website and get my business number. You can always call me if you have any questions. But do I second guess this machine? I still do not second guess this machine. I have tested pieces of leather with this machine, and that is actually probably a project that I'm working on. Me and my husband is actually designing a leather bag with real leather, not the fake leather. We have literally traveled 6 hours driving with my kids to find materials, the real leather, like feeling the quality and everything, because we want to make some bags with real leather. So we will be testing it out in this machine, but it does take time to actually work on a foot pattern. But I do hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell. And like I said, if you have any more questions, do not be scared to ask. Drop it down below. If I don't get to you, I'm loving the community that we are building on here, because there's so many people that's with this machine, and I love it when you guys respond back for me or you answer the questions that I have missed. It means a lot, and I'm so happy that a lot of you guys have found this machine so helpful, and you guys are loving it, and it's actually taking your business to the next level. This machine is definitely worth it, definitely, because it is Black Friday season. You probably could get it on a deal, a steal. Check out Vevor.com. I have a link down below for you guys also if you want to check them out. And like I told you guys, for all the tools that I use, the needles, the bobbins, I buy off of Amazon, as you see right here. It's all linked in my Amazon store, so I get these bobbins off of Amazon, and these are the needles that I use. Even if you don't go to my link, but this right here, that DB, look at that DB, very important. Now you may not need a size 18 or like 18 or 16 or something that I use. You can get a regular 14 size needle, but I always get 18 because I'm doing larger things. Definitely for bag making, you want a size 18 needle. Now, a big thing about this, your needle plays into your thread. If you're not doing heavy duty thread, don't get a larger eye needle. Use a regular 14 to 11 inch needle, not 11 inch, 11 needle, okay? You don't have to sit here and get the 18 and 16, all that. You do not need it. But I do hope this helps you guys and answer all your questions. I really do. And we did go over the stitch link, but I am going to show you guys another close-up of everything, because I know that has been a big question that so many people have been asking. This is the stitch link of 5. And this is 4. 4, 5. 5 is the long one. 4 is the short one. So the 5 does have a little bit extra than the 4. And we already went over the 3, honey. Let's not even talk about the 3. The 3 just couldn't compete at all. The 3 was tiny. I don't know what this was or what, but 3 couldn't compete at all. Because, honey, tiny, tiny, tiny. If you're doing bag making, then you always want to do a 4 or 5. But if you are doing like regular clothes or something like that, you could do a 3. Sometimes you can do a 1, depending on what you're going to use it for. If you're trying to do a gather stitch, that's another thing for all the foots too that I have for my machine, because I do have a gather stitch and everything like that, and a hump and a zipper foot. I did get off Amazon too, so I do have that also linked down below, and it's in my Amazon store. I can also show you guys how it looks, because it comes in a bag like this. And hopefully it says the name on there for you guys too. So this is the bag, and it actually comes with an extra bobbin too for your machine. But it has so many extra foots: the Teflon foot, the straight stitch foot, the Teflon, and then the hump foot, the gather stitch. It comes with so much: the zipper, invisible zipper, and all this. I believe this was like 10 bucks or something. I don't even remember. But it comes with a lot, you guys. So make sure y'all checking out my Amazon store, because I do have it in there for y'all. As I'm not gatekeeping no nothing. I'm telling y'all the real deal, dilly. Oh, okay. But like I said, let me know if y'all have any more questions. I do hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.